Hello. Today I have this hat and I'm pretending that it's my fishing hat. Okay. And I made a little fishing pole. Just because, I don't know why. Just because I wanted to. But anyway, here we go. Woo! Let's go fishing. Let's see what we can get. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like fishing. Have you ever been fishing? I know not everybody has been fishing. I've been fishing. Um, I I fished. I fished in a pond and I think in a lake. And I fished. I went deep sea fishing one time. Um, in the out in the ocean off of the off of the coast near San Francisco, like 4 hours out into. We went. They call it salmon trolling, and this is when I was like, I think I was 16, and yeah, I caught a big one. Brought it home, and I don't know. I guess my family ate it because at the time I wasn't eating fish. Well, at least not fishy fish. I did like I liked red snapper because it was a very mild fish, but yeah, at that time I didn't eat salmon, um, and I didn't eat a lot of fish that was like really bony because I always had this like fear when I was a little kid, of the bones. But anyway, I don't eat fish at all anymore because I've had to change my diet so much over the last 10 years. So I'm like completely plant based now. And but anyway, what I do enjoy about fishing, especially like on the bank of like a lake or a pond or something where you just sit and just cast your cast your line out there. I like bobbin fishing. That's so much fun because you just sit there and watch the little bobbin and watch wait and hope that the fish come biting and you see the little bobbin go down and then you're like, oh, like ready to, you know, hook it and reel it in. And it's so much fun. It is like, there's just, fishing is good because you sit there and you can just relax. And it's a good excuse to do almost nothing. And why do we have to give ourselves excuses to relax and do nothing? Why do we have to do that? So I think that's why a lot of people like to go fishing because maybe that's the only way they can give themselves permission to relax and do something. I mean, I'm not saying all fishing is relaxing, but the one I'm describing, where you're mostly sitting on the shore and not like actively in a boat or anything like that. Or even if you're in a boat, you can just be sitting in the boat with your line out. But yeah, like we have this feeling, this need or this programming of you cannot relax unless you're being productive. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying maybe some people go fishing because not so much for the fishing, but for the excuse to relax and do almost nothing and chill out, and to not feeling guilty about, because you think that you're being productive because you're doing something. You got your line in the water, you're waiting for that fish to bite. Okay, so yeah, I I don't know that I would even go fishing anymore, like, just because, I don't know. I don't really want to. I don't really want to capture animals. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't know. I feel, yeah, I would like them to live their life longer. So, but anyway, but the putting a line in the water and waiting for something to take a bite. It is a fun. It was fun for me. I did enjoy doing that. But today, I'm gonna. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we can talk about fishing in a different way. Like, what are the things that you fish for? Like, let's just say that everything around you, all the possibilities around you, all of the opportunities and things that are all around us, surrounding us at all times, and there's so much to choose from, so many places to cast your line, right? And so many various ponds, lakes, oceans, rivers, streams, like, to cast that line in. And where do you cast your line? Where do you like to fish? Where do you like to spend most of your energy and your time? What brings you the most joy as you're sitting there waiting for that opportunity or fish, the thing to bite? What is it that you're hoping will come on the end of your line, so that you can reel it in to your reality, and so that you can have that big fish that you're looking for. What is it? And where are you casting your line in order to get that big fish? Like, where are you putting your energy? And are you fishing with a big net? Are you fishing with a boat, and like really big fishing poles, to catch big fish with big hooks? Are you doing that? Are you fishing in a little pond with small fish, and you're just content with the small fish? Like, where do you want to fish? Where do you want to drop your line? Because there's endless possibilities. And I think that's a good question for all of us to, for each of us to consider. And are you limiting yourself by only fishing in a small pond when you could go out on a huge boat out into the ocean, and you could capture the biggest fish in your whole life, if that's what you want? Where you could put your net into the ocean and capture a lot of smaller fish, but like a lot, like, I think we all just have to decide what it is we want to fish for and how we want to fish, and what feels natural and joyful to us and relaxing, and what is it that you want? And that's kind of, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what kind of fishing for opportunities and abundance and experiences in life, what do I really want? I don't know. I think I want some big fish, and I think I want some little fish. But I think I want to just be able to fish, and to keep going fishing, and keep dropping my line in. I especially do really like like I said, I like the more relaxing way of fishing. And where, I don't know, and there's, I've seen videos of people who they don't hardly do anything, and the fish just jumps into their hands or their bucket or whatever. And you know what, I think that might be fun to have that happen a lot, to not have to do all the efforting. Yeah, I think I would like to have that maybe as the sustaining way of receiving abundance. But then I also do want to experience a little bit of actual, fishing, where I get to cast my line in and wait, and then pull it out when I get a bite. I don't know. Does this make sense to you? Okay. Well, what I'm going to do right now is similar to what I did in the video yesterday, where I have DVDs in here, movie DVDs, and I'm going to randomly pick out. So instead of using like oracle cards, I'm using an assortment of movies, okay? That they're all different kinds of movies, and I mix them up and pull them out. It's like going fishing, right? Pull it out and see what the message is that wants to come through. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is such a good movie. The Majestic. Okay. This is with Jim Carrey. I don't know if you've seen this. This is one of his more like serious roles. And it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful movie. So many messages in this movie, though. I don't even know which one to talk about. Let me think here for a second. He was a big, like, he was starting to get a lot of success in like the movie industry. This was back in like the what was it? Well, back in the times of where people were coming back from war. And he got mistaken for somebody who went to war, but was missing in action, or they thought he had died, but then anyway, he ends up in this small town. I don't want to give the movie away, and honestly, my brain right now is not really focusing well on all the details. I'm trying to think of what's the message, the main message that I meant to share about this right now. So give me a second, I'm sorry, as I try to make sense of this. There was a lot of, this was back when they were really like trying to out people, trying to, like where they were talking about a lot about communists and trying to out people for being communists, even if they weren't. A lot of conspiracy and stuff, and he was getting some success in the movie industry, writing stories for films, and but he had some association with some other people that, he wasn't looking to see. He wasn't doing background checks on people, right? And why should you? You're just interacting with people in a normal way, a friendly, normal way, and it's not a big deal. But there's this like hyperfixation during this time on, communists, and are you a communist? Do you have association with this person, with that person, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, it was all scapegoat kind of energy. But anyway, he learns a lot about himself. He suffers, like, he has like this accident or something. And then he loses, he doesn't know who he is for a long time. And this community where he landed, in the hospital, or he did not know who he was, but he looked so much like somebody from this town's, he looked like one of their favorite sons of this town, and so he had a mistaken identity, but then he sort of became that person because he didn't know who he was, and so he was going along with what everyone was telling him. And then when his memory started to come back, he realized that I'm not that person. And so then he had to figure out how to, because he gave back this town, and even like the father of this soldier who died, he gave that town back the person that they lost. And so, it was, for them, it was a miracle. And but when he's waking up to who he really was, he was challenged with, do I disappoint all these people who think I'm this person that I'm not? Or do I do I just honestly tell them, yeah, I'm not that person? And if I do, will they accept me as me? And I think that's what he struggled with, because everybody accepted him and loved him as the person that they thought he was. But he didn't know if he could just be, very forthcoming and honest about, actually, no, I'm not that person. This is who I am. And if they would still love him, because he had built some relationships with these people. And so I don't know, maybe you feel like that. Maybe you've had something like this happen to you, where you thought you were a certain kind of person, and then you had maybe you had an awakening. I know this is happening to me. This has happened to me, where I'm not who I thought I was, and I'm having to come out of my I'm having to be honest about who I am on that soul level. And yeah, it's a little scary, because it's like, are people going to accept me as who I really am, or do they want me to remain the version of me that they're familiar with, and that they want me to be? So that's kind of where I am. I'm not going to talk more about this, and as you can tell, I'm kind of struggling with it, because I don't know, I'm just having a loss of words. Anyway, it's a good movie. You should watch this. It's very magical too. Okay, let's try another one. I don't know, maybe I'm just too much in my head right now. I don't know. We'll see. I wanted this to be fun like it was yesterday, but maybe it's just a little more heavy. I don't know. Maybe it is, because this is giving me the same kind of vibe, where society wants, okay, this is Bicentennial Man. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's amazing. This is Robin Williams, and it's, set in the future, and like, with robots and these androids, and he has an awakening, because he is not who he thought he was, and he has consciousness. He has consciousness, but in his programming, he has been set up to perform and function a certain way that is acceptable in society, and is acceptable, but there's something that happens that wakes him up, and that sets that in motion, and then, like, the family that he lives with, most of them, or at least two members of the family, revere him as an evolving consciousness, and as a person, they treat him like an actual person, and that helps to shape him, and it helps his growth, because they're not viewing him as a robot. Okay, and this is a very good movie to watch. But yeah, it's that, for him, it's a realization that he is different than all the other robots out there, all the other androids out there, and So he has this quest for finding someone who's like him, and he goes on this long quest, and mainly he finds out that there is no one like him, and it makes him it makes him lonely, but it also, like, he, even before that, he's like searching for his freedom, because he's owned by his family, right? He's owned by the family who bought him from Northern Robotics, and but he evolves to a point where he wants his freedom. He does not want to be owned by anybody. He wants his freedom. And then later it turns into a quest for wanting to be acknowledged as an equal to the human race. And because he has consciousness, and because he has feelings, and then also, like, he has all these upgrades that are done to him, which are biological, and so he is, in fact, like, he does have some human upgrades. Okay, so yeah, there's this search for self, and that wanting to just be who you are and be accepted as you are, and to be acknowledged as I existed, and this is me, and to be accepted as that person, and not be like I was saying with the other movie, not that feeling of not wanting to, wanting to be accepted as you really are, and not the version of you that everyone expects you to be and is familiar and comfortable with, right? Yeah, so that's what I'm getting from this. But it is a very good movie. If you haven't seen it, I really encourage you to watch it. Okay. All right, one more. I'm getting warm. Yeah, it's hard fishing out here in the sun. I am having a little fun, though. It is a little bit. Okay, let's see. Oh, A Walk in the Clouds. Okay, this is a great movie. This is with Keanu Reeves, and I don't remember this actress's name, but this takes place after, I don't know which war it was. Probably like I'm gonna say World War II, I think. Anyway, yeah, and this is like, the setting is like in like Napa area, in the vineyards, and this is beautiful. This is a beautiful movie, but it's also has some similar themes of wanting to be accepted for who you are, wanting to wanting to belong, wanting to be accepted as you are, and not as someone else expects you to be. And I think that's that's something that they are both struggling with in this movie. He's pretending to be her husband because she accidentally got pregnant from her professor, and now she's coming home, and she thinks her father, she's like, my father's gonna kill me, kind of thing, like, because her father is very strict and traditional, and expects a lot of her. And so he basically is the buffer, and Keanu Reeves is married. He just came home from war. He got married right before the war, and came home, and his wife is just kind of off in her own world, and so he goes out to sell his chocolates, you know, trying to make some money. And when he meets her, and like they just get entangled with each other, and eventually, you know, like they get together, and I shouldn't give it all away, but yeah, they're both trying to find themselves and to find where they fit and where they can be themselves, and they can and that others can accept them no matter what, just how they are. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from this. All right, I think we're gonna end there. I hope I hope this was helpful, at least. Maybe not as fun and as exciting as my last video. At least for me, it wasn't. But I did enjoy it a bit. Yeah. All right. Well, hope you guys have a good day. Bye.